What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith. And on today's show, we have an updated top 5 free agent targets for your Golden State Warriors. Now, before we get into the guys who are still out there on the free agent market, I wanted to preface with one player who is probably going to be a Golden State Warrior, but at the time of recording, we do not 100% know when or if he will be signing, but all signs across the league point to Al Horford being a member of the Golden State Warriors for the 25-26 season at minimum. I mean, who knows if it'll end up being a 2-year contract. I would assume it's going to be a 1-year deal, as Horford is mulling either signing with the Warriors or retiring from basketball entirely, as that kind of seems what it's like right now with the Lakers signing DeAndre Ayton and the Celtics not having any money to bring back Al Horford. Could he be waiting this whole thing out for Brad Stevens and the Celtics to open up some money for him? Maybe, but I think signs really point to him wanting to contend for a championship this season, and Golden State is at the driver's seat as far as being a free agent suitor for him. So we're operating under the impression that Horford is going to end up in Golden State. So we're going to look at other positions and other areas of need for Golden State to acquire some more firepower here for Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, and the boys. All right. So as far as their team needs go, outside of starting center, because it's going to either be Al Horford or Quinn Post. Maybe they platoon back and forth, but we're not going for starting center anymore. There really aren't many starting level centers out there in free agency left. So we're going to go for backup ball handler. It could be a 1 or a 2 combo guard kind of thing, but maybe a backup like pure point would be awesome. A perimeter shooting. We're obviously going to need guys who can efficiently hit the outside shot. We know how many threes Golden State wants to get up there. Defensive versatility. Can you guard, if you're a 6'5" player, can you guard 1s, 2s, 3s? And if you're in the 6'6" to 6'7" range or 6'8", can you guard, 2, 3s, 4s, maybe even some 1s, depending on your archetype. And some front court depth would be awesome as well, because Kevon Looney is gone, but he was never, he was always the third center kind of getting rotated in and out. Golden State was platooning 3 bigs last year, and we need some depth behind Draymond at the 4 as well. So there definitely needs to be some more height added to this Warriors roster, no doubt about it. Now, we're not going to start there, though. We're going to start off at the guard spot and go with Malcolm Brogdon, most recently with the Washington Wizards. A guy who, outside of his injury-riddled years, is a 50, 40, 90 type of player, man, and could play solid defense as well. Now, he is 32 years old. Has he the same athlete and same burst that he had when he was 26, 27, and his first couple seasons in the league, because this is a guy who spent a lot of years at the collegiate level, was awesome in his days as a Virginia Cavalier, but I think he could be an awesome fit for Golden State, man. How much do we really want that bench unit to be dominated by Brandon Podziemski, who's probably already going to be a starter at that 2-guard position? So we need a real off of the bench guard that we can rely upon, not a Pat Spencer type, a guy who we're bringing off a 2-way contract. Brogdon's a serious pro. Now, the availability is certainly something that we have to look at here when we're looking at his last 4 seasons. Has only played more than 39 games once in the last 4 years, and that was the year that he ended up winning 6th Man of the Year with the Boston Celtics. I think if he's healthy, he could have similar production for Golden State. Clearly hasn't seen a ton of run these past 2 seasons, only combining for 63 games played. But I would love to see him in Golden State Warriors blue and gold, and I think he would be a great fit, veteran leader, and a guy who just makes the right decisions basically every single time he's out there on the basketball court. Is he the most physical player? No, but he's got it in between the ears, and I think Golden State needs more of those guys. What about bringing back De'Anthony Melton, though? And this is a player who I will keep pounding the drum of until he is signed by somebody else. I don't care if it goes all the way until late August. I'm going to keep telling you guys that the Warriors should go out there and sign De'Anthony Melton. When they played the first 15 games last season where De'Anthony Melton was healthy, they were 12-3. He was starting next to Steph, playing off him magnificently. He was able to be a secondary ball handler within Golden State's offense, hit the outside shot at a decent clip. He was actually pretty solid, and he only played 6 games, funny enough. But it was that first 15-game stretch last year where Golden State was firing all cylinders. You could see the vision that the front office had and what last year's team could have been kind of materialized there early on last season. And he was averaging 10 points. He was putting up 3 dimes, steal a game. He was playing good defense, the best point of attack defender, probably, at least it's, somebody that's a 2-way guy. GP2, we know can't play any offense. So, he's really, really good on that end, but offers you nothing on offense. And then, De'Anthony Melton, he gives you 2-way ability up and down the court. Is he the biggest player? No, but, He's solid, man. Off of the as an off the bench combo guard. If you missed out on a Brogdon or something like that, because to be fair with you guys, I would only probably sign one of the two. If Brogdon wants to come to Golden State, I probably would lean him a little bit more than Melton. But both these guys have big time availability issues, so their skill level cannot be denied. But there's a reason that they're still on the free agency market as of right now. Let's move on to Trey Lyles here, formerly of the Sacramento Kings. And look, Trey Lyles, he's kind of in a weird spot, man, because I think he's absolutely a rotation player in this league. Is he the best defender? That's probably why he's still out there on the market currently. It's just because he doesn't have a lot of defensive IQ and skills, even though he's got like the versatility and then the size, right? 6'9", like 230 pounds. He's got the frame to be able to go out there and do it, but just isn't the best overall defender. Now, he is a floor spacer for sure. Does he hit it at the most consistent clip from year to year? Not necessarily, but he shot at a 38% clip back in 2024 where he played 60 games, and this guy's been available for most of the time as well. He's routinely playing 70 games year in and year out, hitting the outside shot at a decent clip. He's got the in-between game. Is he the most physical player? No, but again, like, this is a guy who Golden State just kind of needs there off of the bench there at the 4 spot. He can play some small ball 5 as well. So I'd be absolutely in on bringing Trey Lyles there. He's got the, he's a basketball player. Like, he can put the ball in the cup and he can rebound the basketball at that 6'9", 230 frame. But so if you want like kind of like a little bit of an opposite player within Trey Lyles, somebody who's going to space the floor and grab your kind of garbage rebounds and all that stuff. If you want somebody who's going to go out there and take possessions, but maybe not be as as polished of a scorer, then look no further than Precious Achiuwa, formerly of the New York Knicks. Could Golden State get him on the biannual exception of $5.1 million? I would love this fit in Golden State. He's shown the ability to sometimes step out and hit that three-point shot. He's shown the ability to get out on the fast break and kind of run in transition here, even putting the ball on the deck sometimes and making some moves with the basketball in his hands that you really don't expect from him on a consistent basis, but he'll sometimes pull something out of his bag of tricks. And he's been incredibly efficient throughout his career as well. Each of the last 2 seasons, he's been playing up in New York. He's been shooting over 50% from the field. He's been averaging nearly a block per game. And you know what? He's going out there and being a spark plug. Can he be relied upon as a starting center in this league or a starting big man most nights? No, but he is absolutely a rotation player, a super high motor guy, and just somebody who I think would work in Golden State and really, honestly, elevate his game and get better as a basketball player overall, playing next to a player like Draymond Green, who's made all his money in this league, doing the same exact things, just at a much higher IQ level. If Precious can kind of learn behind him, I think the sky's the limit for the rest of his NBA career, and he can make a lot more money than he has so far. Now, before we get into our couple last players here on today's show, go get hooked up with the Warriors 2025 playoff shirt at this link right here, chatsports.com/win4bay. This is the deal with our friends over at Fanatics, and we get a commission every single time that somebody clicks on this link and makes a purchase. So go down below and click it and see if you guys want one of these shirts. They got all the sizes available, and they're basically half off. So go down below, get it at this link right here, chatsports.com/win4bay. I'll put it in the comment section and description of today's video as well. All right, moving on to our last Golden State Warriors free agent target here. What about Ben Simmons? Yeah. You can laugh at me in the comments section all you want. But Ben Simmons played decent spot minutes for the Los Angeles Clippers last season. And I think in a Golden State system for a pass-first player like him who can provide the defensive versatility that I was talking about a little bit earlier, something the Golden State Warriors need, man. He can guard 3s. He can guard 4s. He can guard 5s. He can rebound the basketball as well. And is he the best overall talent? And is he always giving 110% effort on both ends of the floor? Probably not, but he's got the things you can't teach, like the frame, the length, the ability to get out in transition, the court vision, this raw passing ability overall. Like, Simmons has a lot of skills to his game. It's just how can he implement those and how can he contribute to winning on a consistent basis? That has been the issue in his career so far, and obviously the lack of an outside shot. Still very efficient, doing a lot of his scoring around the rim, but he's never going to be a score-first player. I think he would fit in Golden State, though, just moving around, being somebody who can cut to the basket, go backdoor, play out of the dunker spot, but also initiate some offensive sets as well. So I like the fit of Ben Simmons a little bit in this Golden State Warriors team. But what do you guys think? Of the players we've talked about so far on today's show, Malcolm Brogdon, De'Anthony Melton, Trey Lyles, Precious Achiuwa, and Ben Simmons, all playing kind of varying roles around the NBA right now. Pick one to sign down in the comment section. I'm trying to hear who Dub Nation is liking this free agency season. And before we get out of here, I want to talk about Damian Lillard real quick because he is a free agency target, but there are rumblings coming out that this decision might not come for a very, very long time. So I anticipate that even though the Warriors haven't gotten many moves done this offseason already, that this will be one that comes even further down the line, and we won't see a Damian Lillard signing for a couple of weeks and maybe potentially months here as the offseason rolls on. That will do it for today's edition of Warriors Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel for the best Warriors content all offseason long. YouTube.com/WarriorsTV. We'll see you guys on the next one. And as always, let's go Dubs.